What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't been posting a lot of videos recently, but I am back. If you don't know me, my name is Tom and I love to fish. I love to make fishing videos, gear review videos, and tips and tricks tutorial videos. Just anything fishing related. I'm a fish bum and I mainly fish in the southern Saskatchewan region around the Regina area. So yeah, if you're a long-time subscriber, thank you guys for following and supporting this channel. You are the reason why we made it today. Yeah, we're just over 2,000 subscribers. I do have a giveaway planned in the near future, so stay tuned for that. But today, as you can see, I'm in a studio. Today is December 5th, and we had some pretty cold weather in the last 2 weeks, and that's great for making ice. As far as I know, the lakes around Regina are all locked up, ranging from 5 to 8 inches. So it is about go time. It's a Thursday today. I'm going on the ice this Saturday. So yeah, hopefully everything goes well. But today, I just want to do this video. I should have done this earlier, but so if you've been following my channel, watching my ice fishing videos, you know I run Frostbite rods. I think they are the best rods, not the best rods out there, but best bang for the buck. And they make so many varieties, action, length, material. They make these rods towards the species and applications. I think it's a right way to make rods, ice rods especially. For example, this 38-inch medium, this is a true grit. Yeah, I've been running these rods for 3 years. I think this is probably the best walleye rod out there. Speaking of Frostbite, a month ago I got a surprise message from Frostbite. They're like, hey Tom, we've been following you. You make great videos. You've been promoting Frostbite products, and we're gonna offer you a care package. So the care package is here. I'm gonna show you. It's a pretty big box. It's pretty heavy too. So I picked some products that I wanna try. Didn't pick any rods because I already have a bunch of Frostbite rods. So today we're gonna, just look at what's in the box, and I'm gonna go through my rod and reel lineups for this year, and little tips and tricks and what I recommend for lures, line, reel, rods, just stuff like that. Just give you a breakdown of my arsenals, and I'll give you a little update on the channel, what you can expect this winter. So yeah, stay tuned. Let's get right into it. Okay, first product. Yeah, you're probably like, Tom, why did you pick a toque? Well, I already have a Frostbite toque, but that one is getting a little old. It's 3 years old. But this one, it looks nice. It's a gray color, very simplistic design. Oh yeah. There's just one size, universal size. Yeah, it feels nice. Feels really soft, and look at that. There's like a leather pullback tab and a leather patch right there, Frostbite. And on the inside, oh, I like it. This is a different material than the woven material on the outside, so it's supposed to keep you warm. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on actually. See how it looks like on my head. I don't have a huge head, but I like to cover my ears. See if it does it. Kind of. Not really. Maybe I do have a bigger head. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty warm. Pull down a little bit. Yeah, it does cover my ears. I think it looks good. Let's see what else is in the box. Oh yes. This is their first generation performance hoodies. I know there is a orange color one out, the V2, but yeah, I just want to try it out. I got the large. I think it's better to get a larger one than a smaller one that doesn't fit, right? So yeah, I'm gonna open it up. Oh, feels good to be unboxing goodies, you know that feeling? There it is. Wow, look at that. I don't know, it might be a little too big for me, but let's put it on. It's got the hoodie and it's got the neck warmer built in. Pretty thoughtful design. And if you've been watching Jay Siemens, Fishing Geeks, Terra Murata, those guys. But anyway, I'm gonna put it on and be like one of them. Okay, look at that. So I guess I'm no longer a medium. I am a large. This fits me quite well. Yeah, I'm about 5'11", a bit wider shoulder. Yeah, this is really comfortable, you know. It's the liner inside is really tight and smooth, like that. And with the neck warmer, let's try it out. Let's put my hat on here. Now I look like one of those Team Frostbite YouTubers. Should put the neck warmer on. Oh my gosh. Yes, this definitely keeps me warm. Very comfortable. And just turn around and show you the back. It's very smooth on the inside. And this neck warmer totally covers my neck. I didn't notice there's a Frostbite logo right there on the top. You got a pocket. So it's a through pocket. See what I mean? Then you get this pouch. Nice zipper. It's pretty big actually. So I'm thinking maybe I can, you know, put something like a jig box or you know, soft plastic in there. Let's see. There we go. Got all the goodies in my belly. There's 2 side pockets here. Pretty deep, pretty good. So this is a great spot to, you know, put your phone in there and keep it warm. Or if you're doing YouTube, you want to put your external mic receiver in there. That's a great spot for it. And I was reading on Frostbite's website, these pockets are designed to be accessible while you're wearing a bib, right? So I'm going to test it out. I have my striker suit. I'm going to put it on right here. And you know, obviously my suit has quite a few pockets as well, but that's just additional. So like I said, the performance hoodie, right? The pocket is right here, so you can, you know, reach it quite easily. So I'm gonna take my phone out, just like that. There's my phone. Definitely put in some thoughts and efforts into designing. Obviously, striker is a popular suit that a lot of people wear. Yeah, this is how I'm gonna look like on Saturday. So, you know, hopefully it's not too cold. Hopefully I can just wear the hoodie without the jacket on top, but I'll bring it just in case. Yeah, so that's the performance hoodie. All right, so next we're gonna take a look at the third item in the box. As soon as they announced this, I'm like, oh, I gotta give it a try because I've not seen anything like it. So this is the Frostbite scoop. You can see that. Nice packaging. It looks like, you know, this is ready to go on shelf in a tackle shop or something. Yeah, so it says telescopic up to 48 inches and is a patent pending product. Look at that. This is a decent size scoop, spoon. Pretty hard plastic. You can flex it, but hard plastic. It's got scale on the handle from, I guess, from 0 to 18 inches. So yeah, if you want to measure a walleye, either size walleye, that's about 18 inches. Actually, I do like to keep walleyes under 18 inches. 16, 17, right? So on the end of the handle here, you have a hook. You can see that. You know, it can be quite useful when you get your hook stuck on the bottom of the ice and you just dip your scoop and push it out, right? Again, innovation, design, just little things that make life easier. And I heard you can actually chisel out holes with the end point here. You got a couple nuts to, I guess, unscrew and open up the extension. So if you unscrew the first nut, okay. Yeah, depending on how tight and how much further you pull the second section out, your measurement can be off, honestly. So that's 20 inches, 18, and it can measure up to 34 inches. Let's keep going. Oh, you can feel that's a spring loaded. You see, there's your 34 and your 36, and you can measure up to 48 inches. And there's another Frostbite logo there. So overall, look at this thing. Can I fit it in this frame? It's pretty long. I have never seen a scoop this long. So correct me if I'm wrong. I think the tube itself is some kind of hard plastic graphite material, and on the handle here you have this grippy finish compared to the smooth surface here. Yeah, just another nice touch. These are the 3 big items, and then the rest are little lures and plastic I want to show you. Just dumping it on the table. Woo! So where do we start? Frostbite tantrum. This is a tried and true. If you watch A. Seaman, Clayton Chick, they use these quite a bit. Frosty clownfish. This is going to show up really well on the on-water camera, and it's kind of like a Wonder Bread color. I always have luck with Wonder Bread pattern, so I got 2 of them in the 60 size, and then I got this is the 46 size tantrum. This is like a natural baitfish or bluegill color. Yeah, something smaller that I want to throw on my finesse rod. And next up we have the scissor kick in the 1/4 ounce size. I don't know what the color is. Shock and awe, it says it on the back. Shock and awe. So yeah, this is like a jigging spoon basically, but with 2 propellers on each end of the lure. Again, this is why and how I know about this lure is by watching these YouTubers, J. Seamans and CSO. But yeah, just open it up. I find this lure kind of interesting. Again, haven't seen anything like that on the market. For jigging spoon, I've always used either a Northland lure, buckshot, or PK spoon. But look at this. This is like a slender profile. Yeah, it's pretty slick. Got the 2 propellers. So as you jig them up and down, it kind of creates some commotion in the water. Comes with a tiny snap. Yeah, give it a try. Probably tip it with a minnow head, but early ice hopefully I can just catch them without any bait on the hook. Next up we have the mini slayer in the 55mm size. This is different than a paddle tail, but it's kind of like a minnow style swim bait, but it's a flat tail, right? So you just jig them up and down. The tail has that nice waving action. I didn't pick the big one, but if you watch my videos, you know that I use smaller tungsten jigs. I guess the big walleye don't seem to care or matter. They just bite it. So this will pair up nicely with my CR bait tungsten jig. So something like that. This is a 7mm CR bait tungsten jig. And I guess even in open water, if I'm from a boat or casting from the shore, catching these smaller size bass, walleye, pike, you know. Yeah, I picked pink because why not? Okay, next up, we're towards the end here, but next up, I got a bunch of these in different colors, but same lure. This is the indestructible bug. So basically it's an extremely durable plastic. I'll show you when I open it up. But I got it in the, what is it, 7mm size. I want to use this for open water bass and walleye fishing. And then I got a 25mm, basically 1-inch size indestructible larva. So it's gonna pair up very nicely on my tungsten jig. I'm gonna rig one up and show you guys. I mean, look at how tiny that is. Put it up close to the camera. Looks just like a, I don't know, like a nymph, dragonfly nymph, or even a crayfish. Just a creature bait, you know? It looks like a tiny crayfish or just any kind of aquatic bugs. I'm sure this will catch walleye in my area, the perch, bass. I also got a pack of neon green. This is not a natural color, but again, why not? So I got 3 packs of indestructible bugs. All of them are in that natural color. This one is purple, maybe not so much natural, but I do plan to use them on a net rig jig. So let me show you guys how I rig it. Got a bunch of these cheap from AliExpress from China. Man, that is just a juicy bug. Some kind of dragonfly larva. And just like that, there's our net rig. This plastic is super stretchy. Look at that. I'm not breaking it at all. It can stretch so far. This is the indestructible plastic. You can probably catch like 50 fish with it without having to change plastic. So yeah, there you go. Okay, now I'm gonna share with you my rod and reel lineup for this winter. I've been using Frostbite rods for 3 years now. First, they came out with the Burnt and Medallion series. I have a couple of those. I have the Dipstick and the True Grit. And then later they came out with the Venton Black and Twilight series. Same idea, it's just one is a better quality rod with the titanium guides and full cork handle, but yeah, the actions are pretty much the same. So I am going to recommend you 3 rods in the Frostbite lineup if you are, like me, fishing for walleye, perch, pike, bass, whitefish, cisco, burbot, the typical Canadian, North American freshwater game fish, right? The first one I recommend, and I think is probably the best walleye jigging rod, is the 38-inch medium power. This is the True Grit. Now this one in particular is the Medallion series with a full cork. I had to wrap my reel on the cork, but this one has the titanium recoil guide, so if you pull it back, it will just snap back in place. So that's great for clearing up ice. So the equivalent of today's Frostbite lineup would be, still the same 38 medium True Grit, but in the Venton Black series. So just to show you the action of this rod. Now I started ice fishing with shorter rod, and that's what's really available on the market. I go to Cabela's and pick a rod. 28, 30 inch, that's about it. But this one is 38 inches. Once I go long rod, I cannot go back. There's definitely an advantage to longer rods, especially when you're, fighting a big walleye, big head shakes or pike. When it's at the hole, that's the most often time you're gonna lose that fish. So with a longer rod, you can, leverage it and play really well. Even you can stick half of the rod in the water to play with if it makes a strong run, right? So there's the advantage, but that's how it loads. This is a graphite rod, not a fiberglass, so it's got a really snappy tip. The recovery of this rod tip when you snap it back in place is like instant. So that translates to sensitivity, basically. Once the fish bites, you're gonna feel it through the tip, through the blank on your hand. So yeah, I've been using this rod for 3 years now. It hasn't really given me a problem. I have the same reel wrapped on the rod from 3 years ago, and I use it every year. So this is a good rod for, jigging anything, I'd say 1/4 ounce or up. So your jigging spoon, your PK spoon, your dinner bell, tantrum, something like the tantrum 60 size, I'll definitely use this rod for it. Yeah, or even just a jig and plastic setup. This is great for it. And one thing I forgot, glide baits like your Rapala jigging wraps or Acme Hyper Rattle. When you need that fast recovery and snapping motion, this rod comes in real handy for that. So definitely recommend the True Grit. If you want to try a Frostbite rod, I'd say this is one you try first if you are a walleye, pike, perch, burbot angler like me. And by the way, I'm in southern Saskatchewan. Our lakes are full of walleye. All right, so next one on the list. I started using this rod about 2 years ago, And I kind of wish I started or I knew about it earlier. So this is the 37-inch medium light Smokeshow. It says right there, Smokeshow, 37 inches, almost the same length of the True Grit, but this one has a little less power to it, little thinner blank. But this is also a graphite rod, so pretty much another jigging rod, but for smaller lures, for example, the tungsten jig. If you watch my channel, I use these heavy CRB tungsten jig. I'll leave a link to their website. I've been using them for 3 years now. I'm a pro staff. Also have a discount code in the video description. But anyway, anything smaller, you know, you can still use 1/4 ounce lures on this. Any jig, jigging spoon, flutter spoon. But I like to run tungsten jig. So you might think, well, small tungsten jig, right? Why don't you use a ultralight noodle rod? I think this is a misconception. Tungsten jigs are small, but they're dense, they're heavy too. So the advantage of a tungsten jig is fall fast. So when you, let's say, rip it up, or even just, you know, tap it on the spot, the tungsten jig will have a faster up and down motion than your traditional lead jig. And you definitely need the sensitivity for fishing a tungsten jig. So this 37-inch medium light with a graphite rod, the rod recovery is still pretty good. I guess a rule of thumb for me is how do you pick the power of a rod? Depending on the weight. If you have the lure just sitting there and your rod tip is already kind of bent a little bit, or even too much bent, that means you're using too light of a rod for your application. Little tiny bend on the tip, but not too much. So I can still see and feel the fish bite when the rod tip goes boom, right? Yeah, sensitivity is what I'm looking for, especially when it comes to jigging. I know a lot of guys use noodle rods to see that visual bite, right? When the rod tip is lowered, is loaded, they know there's a fish on the hook. Pair up the rod, I have a 2000 size. This is a Soiree BB. This is a JDM mid-tier reel, basically a equivalent to the North American Shimano Ultegra, but with a nicer feature. And yeah, it's got a shallow spool, so I don't have to put like 120 yards of line on the spool. When you're ice fishing, you probably only need 40 yards. If you're not fishing deep water like lake trout and fishing walleye, 30 feet, that's plenty, right? And the line I use is again a Japanese PE line, basically a braided line. It's got a higher breakage rating, but very thin. So I use this reel for open water too. And I just tied a leader right here with a Alberto knot. I'm gonna try not using a swivel just to keep it finesse, but I might have line twist problems, but I don't know, we'll see. The third rod and the last rod I recommend and in my arsenal is the 39-inch fiberglass Dipstick. So this is the longest rod in my lineup, and you can probably see this is a fiberglass. You can see through it, but the fiberglass is not a snappy rod. This is a rod that can load. You can see that. So imagine putting this rod on a jaw jacker. That is a perfect jaw jacker rod, and just snaps. Or you just put it on a bucket, put on a split shot on your hook, on your line, and then a treble or single hook with a minnow. Put on your bucket. The bite indication is very subtle and very obvious with this thin rod tip. You're gonna see every bite. So this is the set line rod I like to use. Or if I'm fishing super tiny, I don't know, super tiny perch for sight fishing. But this is the rod I use for dead sticking. If you hook into a big walleye or big pike, still has the backbone about right here to fight a big fish. I've caught big walleye, even caught a whitefish on it. I'll show you a video here. But these are the 3 rods that I recommend you try. If you're an angler like me, fishing for walleye, perch, pike, I want to get into Frostbite product. True Grit 38 medium, Smokeshow 37 medium light, and then the 39-inch light dipstick in the fiberglass rod. Okay, so what are my plans for this winter, right? Life has been a little busy, but I do want to get out. I'm going out on Saturday. I hope I could get out at least 4 times this year. So I got to use my opportunities wisely. So first ice, I'll go to a spot where I fish many years. But for this year, I'm going to try a small lake that I've never ice fished before, but I summer fished. I found the water to be crystal clear. And it's got deep water, it's got different species, very interesting. You'll know when I make a video and post it. Yeah, so speaking of water clarity, in Saskatchewan, especially southern Saskatchewan, the Chain Lakes, it's silt and mud bottom and lots of nutrient in the water. So I like to use underwater cameras, not just to catch fish, but to show you guys how the fish react to your lures. I'm sure you've watched a lot of my underwater videos. Water clarity is the problem. No matter how good your camera is, if it's murky water, you throw a $5,000 camera in there, it can't see nothing. So I'm very excited, very curious to try this new lake with crystal clear water. I am working on a video that I filmed this March. I got on a pretty good whitefish and burbot bite. Crystal clear water on Lake Diefenbaker. It's definitely something worth watching. So stay tuned for that. Last but not least, stay tuned for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway video. And I can't thank you guys enough for following and supporting this channel. Now I think back 4 years ago, I just started, doing this for fun, right? Sharing my fishing adventures, but it's truly a blessing. So thank you guys for that. And I want to give you back. I have a pretty juicy giveaway package. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And thank you, Frostbite, for supporting this channel, sending me all this gear. You guys are so generous. Stay tuned. Wish me luck. I'm going to be going ice fishing pretty soon. See you next time on T10 Outdoors. Peace.